What's good, YouTube? Welcome back. Today it is the LazyDaze Channel. We're back at it again doing some more history reaction for you guys. Today it is some more Hannibal and we are on the episode 18, Battle of Cumae, 215 BC. We're really looking forward to finding out what we've got in store for us today. We're going to be doing both this episode and the episode 19. So we're going to be all caught up today, so we're definitely looking forward to finding out what's going to happen because we've got two in store for us. We hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. It's just been such a good storyline, such a
I've enjoyed it, man.
I think Hannibal's been one of your more favourite.
Yeah.
Napoleon and Hannibal, your top two, I think.
I think Hannibal's number one just because of the strategy that this guy can do.
Yeah.
Napoleon is a close second due to how he was.
And also I think with Napoleon, it wasn't just Napoleon, it was the marshals.
It was the marshals, it was how they were, how they got there, and the age they were doing all this shit. It was crazy.
Yeah, but Hannibal, it's all him and it's all his genius. It's interesting.
He's a bad man.
He is a bad man indeed. So if you guys are looking forward to this reaction, before we get to that, if you haven't already, head over to History Marche's page, a link in the description box down below. If you guys are enjoying our reaction, looking forward to future reactions, you know what to do. You need to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, but we are going to jump straight into this one.
Let's do this.
By spring of 215, Carthaginian forces under Mago Barca intended to reinforce the war in Italy, and Hasdrubal the Bald intended to bolster the revolt against Rome in Sardinia. Were nearly ready.
Has a full head of hair.
Full head of hair.
But before either army could make way,
maybe he's in bold, like a bold person. They just spelled it different back in them days. Don't know.
Maybe he had no body hair.
the Senate learned of the defeat at Hibera. Tensions rose on how to respond to the Scipio brothers. This exposed the divide between the Barcid faction in favor of the war in Italy and the so-called anti-war faction led by Hanno II, which opposed Hannibal's war of conquest. Nevertheless, the Sardinians...
Imagine doing so well in your own country and then they're just going, yeah, but we don't like war, innit?
Italy, 1999.
Indian expedition was to sail as planned once all troops and provisions were gathered. But Mago was ordered not to depart for Italy until an agreement for the situation in Iberia was reached. The cunning Hanno II and his allies succeeded in delaying yet again, leaving Hannibal on his own in Italy for at least another year.
Oh,
fuck that.
This video,
I'm not actually done.
as pleasing as it was for the Roman Senate to learn about the victory at Hibera, their attention was fully directed towards the upcoming campaign on the home front in Italy.
Good thing I know.
The situation in Bruttium continued to worsen. After an 8-month siege, Battalia fell to the Carthaginians. The city suffered brutal punishment for their resistance. Hanno the Elder then swiftly advanced onto Consentia without resting his troops.
They suffered severe consequences.
Yeah, but they always do.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like I wouldn't want to do that. I just want to run at the gates.
I'm watching some Mongol stuff on my own channel as well. You just don't fuck with the Mongols.
Oh yeah, nah.
Yeah.
What was the guy's name in Nightmare Museum?
That's no. So that's during this time, not this time.
Yeah, no.
Era.
What was his name?
Attila the Hun.
Attila the Hun.
That's not even who I'm thinking about. Is he who I'm thinking about? Oh no, I was right. Okay, so he is. So Attila the Hun was the leader of the Huns. I was right originally. So like during this Roman Empire, during the Roman period, Republic. I think it was during the Empire part.
Right.
Attila the Hun come like from the north and was a predecessors from the Mongols, I believe. Yeah. And they sort of come from the north of Europe down. And yeah, they fucked Rome up. But yeah, they fucked Rome up big time. But yeah, that was Attila the Hun. Yeah. So they were like predecessor to Mongols.
That's like a savagery though. Imagine that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the Mongols were like that as well, bro. Like, yeah, they done some crazy stuff.
troops, fully realizing the importance of breaking the Patelia-Consentia axis as the two most important pro-Roman cities in Bruttium. The news of the horrors that took place in Patelia preceded the Carthaginian army. In Consentia, the pro-Roman faction wanted to prepare for a siege. But still without a significant victory in Italy, there was little support for the Roman cause among the populace. Fearing they would suffer the same fate as Patelia, the people of Consentia decided to surrender.
Understandable.
With the gates to Bruttium now open, a new wave of support came for the Carthaginians. Towns from the hills mobilized their own militia army to exact revenge on Croton, another pro-Roman city the natives deemed treacherous for siding with the enemy. The army of Hanno the Elder soon reached Locri, which surrendered without a fight. Other cities quickly followed suit.
It's not going well for Rome at all, is it?
It's a good idea that they're surrendering quickly.
Now in Carthaginian hands, Hanno the Elder sent a message to Carthage that a suitable safe haven for Carthaginian ships had been secured, urging the Senate to send Margo.
Look how much of Rome they are in, bro.
With the requested troops, supplies, and funds as soon as possible. But Hanno II and his wealthy allies had other plans. For 3 months now, Margo Barca had been trying to get approval from the Senate to set sail with his army. He and the pro-Barcid faction argued that if Hannibal defeated Rome in Italy, the war would be won.
Agreed.
But, fearing the growing influence of the Barcid family, Hanno II rallied behind the wealthy aristocracy, who above all else did not want to see Hannibal become the most powerful man in Carthage once the war was over. In their minds, as the man who conquered Rome, there would be no one to stop Hannibal from becoming a de facto emperor.
That is a very good point.
I was not thinking about that situation.
He's getting so powerful that he can... He's single-handedly taking it over. I mean, right. At one point, if you want to sail and you're Margot, why don't you just fucking sail? Why don't you just go? Just don't tell them and just be like, no, I'm leaving it and just whatever.
Because then I think that would cause that could cause the potential for a civil war within Carthage.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
But again, if I was Margot, I'd send a letter to Hannibal and go, yeah, we'll do it. You'll become emperor. You just put me in in Game of Thrones, Hand of the King.
I'd send 3 ships, 2 an escort of the 1 messenger ship, just filled with guys. And just like, right, we came here to let you know that it's not going to happen, but the boats are now on fire. Yeah, we can't leave.
Yeah. That's it. So we're gonna defend our lives by helping, the situation. Yeah, some bullshit. A
little bit of waffle.
But I do get if I was Hanno in this situation, Hanno II, I'd be like, nah, like maybe I need to put on my armor and go out there, and get myself some honor. Hannibal getting way too powerful. This is gonna be a problem.
Conveniently, their stance was that reinforcements should not go to the Barcid brother that was winning, but to the Barcid brother that was losing. Margo Barca would not be sailing for the port of Locri in Italy. He was to take his army of 12,000 experienced African infantry and 6,000 Numidian cavalry to Iberia, stripping Hannibal of these much-needed reinforcements.
Oh my god, that's so many men.
Was the ripple effect of the defeat at Hibera. The victory of the Scipio brothers over Hasdrubal unintentionally gave political ammunition to Hanno II and his anti-Barcid faction, and they used it to great effect. For a 3rd year in a row now, they've successfully prevented any significant reinforcements from being sent to Hannibal.
Holy shit.
Instead of the army, supplies, and funds he was promised, Hannibal would be getting only 4,000 Numidian cavalry and 40 elephants from the Senate.
40 elephants?
It's the cavalry that might be useful.
Yeah, you've got 4,000 cavalry. It's something.
It's something.
Ironically, the other army of 12,000...
He could have had 12,000 infantry and 6,000. He should have just... They should have just defended Spain. I can't remember what it was called at that point in time. Spaniard, maybe. I don't think it was.
He's absolutely fucking...
They've screwed themselves over big time.
1,000 infantry and 1,500 cavalry, recruited under Hasdrubal the Bald, would make way as planned to reinforce the revolt against Rome in Sardinia. But the Romans had troubles of their own. The situation in Sicily remained bleak. Appius Claudius began operations to recover parts of the island. Undermanned and undersupplied, he avoided attacking the more consolidated Syracusans and instead began the grueling task of quelling the rebellion of the Greek cities in the north of the island.
Okay.
An uncertain campaign that would drag on for a year. Despite the situation in Sicily, the primary objective for the year 215 was to contain Hannibal. All Roman resources went towards supplying the three massive armies in Campania. Yet, the Roman generals would not challenge the Carthaginian in open battle. Caution was the order of the day.
Yeah, which is fair.
Moreover, a great cause for concern were rumors that Capua was pressuring Cumae to switch sides. To reassert Roman authority, Gracchus crossed the Volturnus River. Once celebrated as one of the most powerful cities in Italy, Cumae held a hillside position on the edge of the most fertile part of the Campanian plain.
Okay.
And its port still secured influence overseas. And as it turned out, the rumors were true. The Capuans wanted to use a nearby festival to invite Cumae's officials for talks. If the negotiations didn't go as planned, their intention was to storm the city while most of the garrison was away enjoying the festivities.
Cunts.
Although unaware of what the Capuans were planning, Gracchus was suspicious enough to scout the surrounding area and make camp close to Cumae. He ordered the inhabitants to stay behind the walls and stockpile provisions. Concerned about Hannibal's trickery, the Roman consul did not want to risk losing the important city to the enemy. The hidden Capuan camp was soon discovered. Gracchus launched a surprise attack at midnight the same day.
Hey,
With
nice.
a substantial portion of the Capuan contingent attending the festival in the hope that the Cumaeans would show up, the weakly defended camp was overrun. Over 2,000 Capuans were killed, including their commander. For Gracchus, this concentration of Capuan forces meant only one thing. It wouldn't be long before the Carthaginian army appeared. Indeed, Hannibal, having known about the conspiracy beforehand, was already on his way.
No.
Fabius's scouts discovered Hannibal's movement. He could have put pressure on the Carthaginian army on its northern flank, albeit by committing to a dangerous crossing of the Volturnus while the enemy was nearby. Instead, Fabius refused to leave his fortified position north of the river. Gracchus was on his own. Sensing danger,
I would never want to go to war with this Fabius prick.
Brother, what would you do if I left you alone in that situation? Brother, what would you do? It'd be over.
I'm sending a raven, and it's gonna shit on you.
Literally, I'll just send one man. I'll be like, your only job is to get there and slap him in the face.
Yeah, literally, just go up to him and slap him.
Yeah, I'm gonna die. That's all I want you to do. You are the chosen one.
Just tell me who you want me to pay gold to, and I'll give them the gold. But you're gonna go up to him and you're just gonna slap him with a belter.
Just slap him. Just slap him.
Unbelievable. He might get help though from the other guy. He might get help.
What? I'm not even going to attempt that.
he did not wait for his own scout reports, but swiftly withdrew behind the walls of Cumae.
Yeah,
His
you had to.
instincts were right.
Yeah.
Soon after, a tower lookout spotted Hannibal's standard on the horizon. With his army of 40,000, Hannibal arrived before the gates of Cumae sometime in June 215.
I
He
don't think it looks
deployed
that
at some
big.
distance and challenged the Romans to fight him. The 25,000-strong Roman army was outnumbered, but the sloped terrain in front of the city favored the defenders.
25,000? I didn't think it was that many.
Yeah, he's got quite a few. There's only 15,000 difference, and also the slopes.
Carthaginians
Yeah,
would
it's an
have to
uphill,
slog
isn't it?
their way up to attack a Roman army deployed in front of the walls. But the troops under Gracchus's command were a mix of allies and volunteer slaves. The Roman consul constantly drilled his men to form a proper fighting force. He still deemed them unfit to fight against Hannibal's veteran mercenaries in open battle.
Oh dear.
The
Oh
Romans
dear.
would stay behind the walls of Cumae. Meanwhile, the construction that had been going on in the Carthaginian battle line turned out not to be the setting of camps, but the constructing of towers. This time,
Towers up a hill.
No, he's doing it on the plane. I think he's going to do like a moving thing.
Yeah, but
Like
they
a
still have to.
platform.
They still have to be pushed
Yeah.
up a hill.
I don't know if it's up a hill.
They're slopes.
Oh yeah, I know it's a hill, but I don't know if he's going up the hill with it.
Hannibal would force the issue. The Romans scrambled to construct their own tower. Once ready, a Carthaginian formation arrayed behind the tower and advanced towards the wall. Gracchus directed his men to place the Roman tower to counter the focus point of Hannibal's attack.
I'm really confused. I might be dumb here. I've never heard of a tower being constructed inside a wall. Let me know in the comments box down below other instances.
I think this was just to protect it from his attack.
I think the idea is that he can get archers onto it, and then like they're at a higher thing, and then he'll be able to use the archers to get projectiles onto it. That's what I'm assuming is another platform for that. But I've just never heard of it being used inside another wall before. So I just want another reference point. That's just I'm really confused by that.
Rain of projectiles was exchanged, and parts of the two towers kept catching fire, which the soldiers frantically extinguished.
They pushed it up a hill. guys.
Finally, the Carthaginian tower reached the wall. Despite being outnumbered at the top, Hannibal's experienced troops remained steadfast, pushing their way onto the wall. The fighting was brutal, but the Roman discipline held until both sides were exhausted. As the Carthaginians withdrew the tower, the less experienced Roman soldiers wanted to take the fight to the enemy. This is what Hannibal was hoping for. A minor Roman victory will motivate them to accept the battle in the open. But Gracchus knew better.
Nice.
However, seeing Hannibal arraying new formations at various points along the wall, and more construction possibly going on behind enemy lines, he assumed that a renewed attack was coming. Having barely held the Carthaginians at bay during the first assault, the Roman consul feared that his troops might not be able to prevent Hannibal from storming the city, and he ordered the men to withdraw behind the walls of the citadel. But Hannibal was just as unwilling to risk his irreplaceable troops in a chaotic battle among the streets and houses of Cumae.
Once again, I forgot that he's got limited forces, isn't he, Hannibal?
He too withdrew and marched back to his camp at Mount Tifata. But while the attack on Cumae went on, Fabius finally broke camp and crossed the river. However, he did not attempt to flank Hannibal and surround his position from the rear. Instead, he made his way towards Suessula, where he joined forces with Marcellus. All three Roman armies were now south of the Volturnus. Hannibal was hemmed in. Ironically, his success in persuading the Italic state to join his cause was now contributing to the success of the Fabian strategy. The Carthaginian general could no longer march his smaller army away to another region and lure the Romans into a battle. Now he had allies to protect, chiefly Capua. Despite being outnumbered, he had to fight to preserve the coalition he had created. Rome, meanwhile, continued avoiding a major battle, instead directing their attacks on Hannibal's allies. In July, Marcellus left camp to raid the towns in Samnium. Hannibal now faced a dilemma. With only 40,000 troops, he faced up to 100,000 Romans. He could split his forces to check Marcellus and protect Capua at the same time, but this would leave him at grave risk of being overrun. Or he could concentrate his forces near Capua and leave the Samnite towns to their fate, which would make him appear weak and unable to protect his allies, something that would quickly lead to the breakup of his Italian coalition. Soon enough, the Samnites sent envoys seeking help from Hannibal. After some deliberation, the Carthaginian broke camp, but he surprised everyone by making way for Nola for a second time. The wily general correctly guessed that neither Fabius nor Gracchus would challenge him in the open, and he thus outmaneuvered the Romans yet again.
Oh, so smart. They're just so worried.
Hannibal's thinking was...
They're just so fucking petrified of what he will do on an open field.
Yeah, because every time they're on an open battlefield, he's just fucking cleaned up. No matter how much they think they're in the positive, and he just takes it.
He's just taking full advantage and swinging that fucking Febreze can all about. Them. Yeah, man.
He's so smart.
Nola held an important position, being on the main road that cut through Campania. Devastating the region around the city would both satisfy his army and force Marcellus away from Samnium. Moreover, the pro-Carthaginian settlement was still strong in the city, and if it went over to the Carthaginian side, Hannibal's lines of communication in Campania would strengthen and push the Romans towards the sea. In addition, Hannibal sent word to Hanno the Elder, recalling him back to Campania, just as he was preparing to attack Rhegium. Realizing the danger, Marcellus immediately turned back.
Nice. This Marcellus is being a good fucking number two to fucking Hannibal. So I mean,
he's not leaving him.
The second battle of Nola was about to begin.
Oh.
If you've made it this far in the video, may Jupiter preserve you. And if you'd like to...
Go on, Jack.
Hannibal was faced with a problem of protecting his new allies and his territory. Defections to him increased his numbers, nobility. Notably, the 17,000 troops under Hanno the Elder in Bruttium, as well as contingents that bolstered the numbers of his many armies, or his main army. I'm fucking illiterate as shit, man. But in 215 BC, these were not enough to match the Roman numbers.
Some Italic cities were... Fuck's sake, you got me. Some Italic cities which deflected to Hannibal did so only... Yeah, defected.
You said deflected.
Ah, there you go. Defected to Hannibal did so only through threat of force. Reinforcements that Hannibal was promised in 215 BC were crucial to the war efforts in Italy. Without them, they would begin to face difficulties in dealing with the massive Roman numbers.
Boom.
Boom. And we have no more footnotes. Well, we're starting this episode next anyway, I think. No, that was the previous one. Anyway, guys, this is actually the first video of the day and we're fucking rambling. I hope you guys have enjoyed that reaction. We definitely did. We're looking forward to the next one. We're jumping straight into it. If you guys are looking forward to the reaction, you know what to do. You need to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button. We'll catch you in the next one.
Good about.